So, you are complaining about not being able to play the game because the prices are ridiculous. Well, first point, of course, yes. Paying a lot of money for booster boxes or booster packs, if you can even get them in your local area, it's problematic. The booster box right now is about, I think it's 250. We will check surely, but yeah, 230 starting, but you will rarely find it for that price. But no, we even have one. Even though they don't ship to my country, you can find for 230. But there will be another reprint, so the prices are a bit lower now. But the chances of you being able to play the game with just one booster box opened and actually do something in the game are pretty low. You will be missing still a lot of cards, so you will have to buy singles. The thing is, people always complain, hey, I cannot play the game, I cannot get into the game because the prices are ridiculous. Here. The stock here, it's all out of stock. You cannot buy a Victor, for example. But you can still enter the game, and pretty simply and cheaply, I will say, yes, you will not pay 20 euros for the deck. You will pay something around 33 if you are using Car Market, 30, 40 almost, with shipping, which is okay price, I would say, for full deck. The full deck contains your legend, but the champion unit is bad, and you get only 6 and 6 runes, which means 6 order and 6 mighty runes. Usually the most decks don't play strictly 6 to 6. They usually play 7 to 5 or even full 12. Especially for Victor, you can get mono rune Victor, and it works, it's playable. But in the end, you don't need to really go there and buy the packs, buy the anything. For example, for me, I haven't opened single Thousand Tail Watcher. I opened a single Machine Evangelist, and I main Victor. This card for me, I have only one, had only one from my booster box, and from multiples of packs I've opened. So why would I even wish to be able to open from it? I can just buy it from a card market for €1 pop. You can see that they someone even has two of those. Pretty viable option, and I would go for it definitely. So why would you pay 230 euros or even MSRP to 140 euros for a whole box when there is actually no guarantee you will be able to play what you want? Yes, you will get some other cards and you can sell those and make money to buy your play cards, which was this definitely for me was a viable option. I pulled some really good cards, but it's all luck. Nobody guarantees you that your box will be worth more than what you paid for it. I know people who bought their boxes for approximately 250, even up to 300 euros, and they got back in matter of 100 euros. Just real bad pulls. There's nothing you can do about it. So my suggestion is just don't buy boxes if you don't have money to spend. It's a gamble. But you can play the game. You can enter the game for cheap. There is a lot of nice budget decks, and what I wanted to talk about is Victor. The Victor for me, I think, is the best, if not the best. It's way above all the others. I think there's also Timo pretty viable, playing pretty cheap, but he's still more expensive than Victor. But if you want to look at this, I prepared one budget deck here, and if we could just click at shopping wizard just to buy it everything. I select only from Europe, so I don't have to struggle with anything else. And after we load in, you can see how much you can play this pretty viable, pretty simple Victor. It's 42 euros, and I think for full deck with, yes, you have here Sprite Mother, The Victor as a legend. Grand Stratagem 70 cents a pop. It's great. Machine of Angel 120. Great. Victor Leader, the most expensive card you have in your deck, probably. And we go on with Faithful Manufacturer, Kill the Weak, Cruel Patron, Soaring Scout, Falling Comet. Great spells, all in the matters of sense. In your, if you want to play if you want to go to play somewhere, you will probably have no problem trading for these. And as you can see, the major price here is shipping for most of these trades. Yeah, again, article value is €1, shipping €5, 14 cents, €2.5 for shipping, 50 cents, €1.5 for shipping. In here, yes, we have their Darius Executioner, which is great for the budget deck. It's not that expensive for €4. It's great. And it gives the buff to your tokens. Singularity, again, €1 pop. Great spell. Why not buy 3 of them? You will actually have more cards to play with. Daring Poro, absolute best early game. Vile Maw Slayer, you need some battlefields. Riptide Rex, again, great substitution for something like a Watcher. It can help you in the late game to support your tokens, holding, killing something of the battlefields. Console the Past, you want to draw through with such a deck. Lecturing your, again, really great early game card. Vanguard Captain, I even played it 3 times in my deck previously, and it's really a viable card. Hidden Blade, must have. Some Mind Runes, Order Runes. Facebreakers, also great card. I play them 3, but you don't need 3. You can put in 3, and it will change the bird price just barely. Arena's Greatest, again, good battlefield for your Victor. And in the end, we have here a Facebreaker again. So there's really nothing to, yeah, because this one is foil. That's why it's more expensive and it's not there. But see, you can even get foil. And you just pay a €40. That's the point. You don't need to take 200 plus euros and hope you will pull stuff you need to play with. I honestly think that you will not be able to get some of the commons you need. I still needed to trade for some of my commons after opening the first box, starting the game, and everything. So, see, you don't have to. It's just your opinion or opinion of some people on Reddit and Discord and everywhere that they cannot get a product. You don't need a packs. You don't need a booster boxes. You don't even need the precons. Even though I understand it's way simpler to start with them, but they are expensive. And if the situation in a TCG sphere is like that for a longer time, but well, this is your option. If you don't have ways of pre-ordering it, this is way to go. You want to still play the game. If you are here to just collecting, you can just try to buy the cards because you will not even pull them anyway. In most of the cases, as I said, I haven't pulled a single Thousand Tail Watcher, one of the greatest cards for blue legends in this game. But I had to buy them, and they are quite cheap right now. And I honestly think they will go up, and they will be a pretty viable option of playing. Yeah, you can see just €120, 80 cents, and one of the best meta cards for blue. In comparison, yes, you can start with this deck, and hopefully, after you play a bit, you will be able to trade in or trade or buy even for your cards you want. For example, replacing one Riptide Rex with one Watcher will push you towards the meta, and you will be able to actually win even some local Nexus Knights or skirmishes even, if you are lucky. Or you can substitute the Darius for the Watcher, or any any other cards. But yeah, buying and selling a whole booster box or finding packs, you won't probably be able to just play with just those in any way. And if you're wanting to buy a packs and booster boxes, you will always overpay for what you need to pull. Uh, People are complaining that they want to open those. You cannot. The chances are low, and that's the fact. It's in all TCGs. You don't have big of a chance when pulling the cards you want. In a set, there is above 300 cards, as I remember, especially with alt and overnumbered. You can see on the card there that it's 298 plus the overnumbered versions. So the chances of you pulling what you need is slim, and the better off you just buy them. Yes, I understand the thrill of ripping the packs is awesome, but you want to play the game. You are not here to open the packs. For me, yes, it's a part, but if you cannot get the product and you want to just play, don't uh, don't be the guy who writes everywhere. I cannot play. I cannot buy a product. You can play. You don't have to buy a product. You can buy single cards. That's it for it. It's just about your mental position or state or whatever to be able to think of, hey, don't open it, don't open the packs, just buy a singles. I believe that for most of these cards, some people will give them even for free if you want to start out, and even some people will give you the legends because you don't need more. Yeah, Victor is very playable for me. I know there is options of, for example, Timo, as I said before. I have here an article from Riftbound.gg, and you can see that Victor is top here, Timo, Ahri, Jinx also, yeah, really nice budget decks. If you can get your hands on Precon, it's pretty simple to build. Any is or more on expensive side, I would say, and yeah, you can see that Kaisa is tier 3, even though in Origins it's the S tier in meta, but it's expensive, and I don't even want to build her because it's expensive. It's too expensive for me. But this is pretty much the deck I built with some extras because it's simple and cheap, and it's something I used to play in the early days. I just substituted the Darius with Watcher because it's a great card and I wanted it. And yeah, for the Timo, the most problematic or most expensive is probably the Mundo Expert. You can just look it up and see. And it will probably cost you less than one pack. Still, you will probably get two for price of one pack, and there is no way you will pull. Yeah, see, €3 for English version. And if you want to really cheap out and just start to play the game, you can buy the Chinese and print the proxies so you understand what they are. Put them on top or under the card so you can read it. But you have the card physically, and you just have to have same language in your deck. Or that means the play deck, rune deck, champion, and legend. But you can definitely buy the Chinese ones. Nobody just really stops you. Same we have here, the Ari. It's really cheap. You just need an alluring. You don't need a blue one, which is more expensive. Stupefies are cheap. Retreats more on the expensive side, but still very cheap. Discipline also great. And Guard Defy. The most of the play cards in here are really cheap what you will be using the most, what you will be playing the most in your decks, it's those cards. It's those cheap cards. Yes, I selected some expensive there, but the point is that mostly you will use in your ill game as a victor. Daring Borrow, Scoring Scout, Faithful Manufacturer, Lecturing Yordle, Vanguard Captain, Cruel Patron, Sprite Mother again. Yeah, the Evangel. I think it's cheap, but for some, okay, it's not a cent card. They will not give it to you free. Cold a Week, again, Hidden Blade, Facebreaker, Console the Blast, Firing Comet, Falling Comet, Imperial Decree, Singularity more on the expensive, Grand Strategy more on the expensive, but still pretty cheap cards. I'm just thinking what you can buy for the same amount of money in our club. It's like one cola can, so you can buy one drink or get a one card. Here, same. Stupefy, Gust. Yes, the stack deck has gone quite up. Conversion Mutation, very cheap. Fight or Flight, very cheap. Ride the Wind, still cheap. Console the Past, Raven Boon Student, Raveling Merchant, Tide Turner, Sneaky Deckhand. And yeah, Scrap Heaps. Sprite Water also, I would call it cheap. Raza also cheap. And with Ari, Charm, Defy, Engarda, Stupefy, Retreat, Discipline, Windwall, Console the Pass, Clockwork Keeper, Stalwart Boros, the Ravenbloom Student, Sunlit Guardian, Yordle, Sona Harmonious, Alluring Ari, and Riptide Rex, all cheap cards. Smoke screens in the sideboard. You can even buy a full sideboard here with no big expense. Yes, you can do the same in here with Timo and in a Victor. Yes, you can also pretty much do that. You just need a Leona, which has gone up a bit. Next we have the Jinx, as I said. She uses Cleave, Hextech Ray, Fight or Flight, Ride the Wind, Potiporo. Those are cheap cards. On the more expensive, we have a Y, yes, but still very affordable card. Chemtech Enforcer, again, very cheap cards. I have tons of those and I hate it. But you can see that it costs nothing. Traveling Merchant, we talked. Flame Chompers, Jinx Demolitionist is cheap. Noxus Hopeful is also cheap. Nocturne, one of the more expensive, but still very viable and easy to find card. Sundisk cheap, Scrap Heap cheap. Even the side deck is quite cheap, you just need a Rebel. But I believe the Rebel is something around that price that's being shown there. Yeah, 150. But probably it's Chinese, I don't know. Even though if it costs 3 euros, I think, yeah, it's cost 3 euros. So, nothing bad. Yeah, the Annie, you need a Legend, which is expensive. But the rest of the cards in the deck, it's pretty reasonable. Again, Yasuo, again, very reasonable. And here for the Victor, if you want, I would suggest you just sell your Darius or keep it maybe and put in the Watcher, for example. You can also substitute one of the Evangels or the Riptide Rexes and put in second Watcher, and you will have very viable and very usable deck. But of course, if you want to go to meta and you you want to be on the expensive side, there is absolutely no way you will pull all of this from a single or even 2 or 3 booster boxes. Because you need stuff like Time Warp. You need Kaiser Survivor. Darius Trifarian, okay, it's rare, but it's findable. Thousand Tail Watcher, again, you can find it. Then you have Ikatean Rain and again a Time Warp. Those are very, very expensive cards, very hard to find. And yeah, you can see like 25, but this Chinese. I think the Kaisa is right now 80 or something. Time Warp is at like 50. But even though, if you look at it, the ton of cards you use in this deck is cheap. It's Hexacray, Cleave, Stupefy, Retreat. We'll talk about all of this, but there is a Falling Star which is more expensive. I think it's like €5 for the English version. And you can see the Time Warp, the Kaisa Survivor, Darius Triferian is like €8 or something. Watchers, we've seen like 20. So, and you need 3 of those, which also really makes the point. Yeah, here you have China national champion, of course. And in Spirit Forge, it will be all on new way. But again, I think that you pulling 3 of these, or you need a 2, is low. And you will have to buy it anyway. Same for the Piercing Light. So you don't have to stress over not being able to buy those. Buy the packs, I mean. But you should stress about if somebody in your area pulls those and you can trade them on site, because the part of that being you is pretty low. And if you just want to start to play the game, then maybe you should concentrate more on just buying the cards itself. Pulling the cards is not viable options, and on that point you may go and buy a few booster boxes in any way, because you will already overpay brutal amount of money. And yeah, with that, like, I would say like thank you for watching, and maybe concentrate around that idea, not buying packs and booster boxes which are expensive, and just go and buy here the singles you want. So see you.